Good morning and welcome to the channel. So today I've got some spotlights to do. So I've already been here, to be fair, and I've just done a bathroom mirror that I've sorted. So I've done loads of work for this customer before. They are absolutely wicked customers, in fairness. So we've fitted previously Zappy, that went on. So we did a little DB down here for it, which is now nicely hidden. Didn't do this board, so that board is not one of mine. That is not what I'm here for. I'm here to do some garden lighting. So I'm going to take you around the garden. I'm going to show you what I'm intending on getting done and getting that all smashed out. But it is supposed to rain, so I'm going to hopefully try and see how much I can get done before it starts hammering it down. So let's get around the back. Right, so I've got an outdoor socket here and it is on its own little 20 amp radial. So we're going to sort of disrupt that, but we'll do that at a later date. So I'm going to work sort of in reverse this time. So we've also got down the side here, down the side of the house is we're going to be running the armoured all the way down there. We're going to lift up the slab over this one, I'd probably say, jump down and then tuck in. That's our access to the garden. So what the plan is, we're going to put a spike light around here somewhere. So I've just seen there's a load of weed suppressor and stuff, so we've got to sort that out. So I'm going to put a spike light around here area to highlight this. I believe it's an Acer, I think the client was saying, to highlight that. And then we're going to buzz the armoured all the way back round this side. Ooh, very wet garden. And then we're probably going to end up having to clip it to the fence because we're not going to pull all the slabs up. And then, so probably in around this area here, another spike light aiming towards the sundial. I'm going to take care of that one. And then another one down here that's going to be in this sort of corner, highlighting sort of the grass and potentially that big bad boy there. So that is what we're up to. So obviously we've got the shovel, got some 1.5mm armoured on there. So we're going to run some Hensel boxes this time rather than the whisker ones, and we're going to gel them all up, figure out how we're going to go about doing that. I've had a few whisker boxes break on me recently and it's done my head in. So we're using Knightsbridge spike lights. They are warm white is what we've gone for, and we're going to control them with a wireless switch kit. So by using these you can control it by your phone, which makes a massive difference, and also you get a normal wireless switch as well. That's the other thing. Oh yeah, that's it. So I know I am late to the party with storm glands, but I am going to use a bit of the old storm gland action as well. So never used those, so we'll see how we get on with those bad boys. Okay, so I've got the first one all sorted now, so I'll just quickly show you that. So the idea is, so in this flower bed here, so I've got my spotlight facing that sort of direction. There's plenty of slack and stuff on it, and this is the Hensel box with the storm gland. So obviously that's my last point because I'm working backwards with all this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the inside of the Hensel box, go through those, and also the storm glands. So like I say, it's the first time I've ever used the storm glands, to be honest, and I'm actually really impressed with them, the way they work. So essentially it gets rid of the shroud by all accounts and makes it a completely weather-tight seal. So the shroud is effectively that piece with a rubber grommet inside, so as you tighten it down, it does the job. Now I know I'm late to the party on the old storm glands, but I actually really like that. I should have probably done this a little bit sooner. So let's show you that Hensel box. The Hensel box this is the one with a PE inlay, it's called. So what that is this is what you get inside. So you get a terminal block that will fit sort of in there. You get two grommets just in case you decide to go fixing through the back. It's German, isn't it? So it's German engineering. So those can go through if you're fixing through there. You also get your earth flying lead, so that's all good to go. You get a clip to go and hold your box on so it doesn't drop on the floor and get all dirty. And this is actually the PE inlay, so which is, don't ask me what it stands for, but that's what it is. And the idea behind it is when you've got your gland coming through, then it keeps the earth continuity all the way through, so it just makes things a lot faster. So no more using a nut and banjo bolt, and also when you're using like the earthing nuts, which I've used before, all this is all into consideration. So when you're costing these up, it's actually cheaper to do this than doing it any other way. So these tabs here, you snap them in half, fit them on the back, and essentially, so if you were mounting them up, sorry, like so that's the PE inlay coming out, just leave that in for now. So essentially you'd have that one and then the other one, and you can fix that straight on the back, and there's no piercing of that at all. So really good bit of kit. So you haven't seen those, then give it a whirl. So what we're going to do here is there'll be a storm gland in there, and then we'll have a stuffing gland out the top, out to what will be your spike light. So installing this bad boy, it's pretty much the same way as you normally start, although seeing that, I'm telling you porkies. So the gist of it is that what you'd normally do is put your shroud on first. With this you don't have to bother. Okay, so on your storm gland, just undo that section off, and then you've got your locking ring inside, slide that over, give her a wiggle, so what I like to do as well is just to be on the safe side, just give it a little twist, make sure it's nice and tight, and then I'll just do the bottom. And that is essentially your storm gland done and dusted. So the other one now is actually a little bit more awkward, in the hedge. So I am going to get that sorted, and then we can get that in the enclosure. Yo, so you got this guy. So Keane's here with us, absolute legend. So he's come round, give me a little hand on here, which is amazing. So he's getting on with some trench work. So he's just started whipping that all the way around. So we're going to go around the outside. So I was going to go on the outside here, but it's a concrete gravel board down that way and all the way behind, and we thought that's probably not going to be the best option. So Keane's just dug a trench all the way along here up to there, and then we can do a trench down behind that tree. So we've just poked the spike lights there for now. Obviously Keane's digging behind there and stuff, but that's essentially where it's going to be, sort of just aiming towards this bad boy. So yeah, so we're going to dig around there, we can fix it behind that tree, and then I'm just coming around. I've just laid all the armour out down this way, and we are going to bring it round the back then, the back of there down here, and then probably sight it around this area with the light pointing up at that tree. So that's the idea. So it's going to be like that, pointing there like that, highlighting that tree all nicely. But the next stage, like I say, for these, doing this with the storm glands and stuff is actually really good. Really happy with those, really pleased. So they will be a bigger feature, should we say. So then again, down here, because we've got a concrete gravel board, we'll have to dig a trench all the way down there. Then we'll lift that slab up once we get past that bit, and then we'll dig the trench all the way down, rather than clipping all the way down to the building, because if you notice there's no cables on the outside here, so we're just sort of going to keep it in the same, and we'll just bury it all the way down to here. And then the idea is then that once we get to this stage, we will come back inside, and then we'll alter this circuit to suit, and put the driver and the wireless switch inside there off a fuse spur. The customer's been wicked as well. He keeps bringing tea out, brunch bars and all the rest of it, don't he, Keane? Yeah. Loves it, which is amazing. So Keane's dug that round, dug the trench down and put it back, and then dug all the way down this way, and then he's just basically at that point now like an absolute legend that Keane is. I've calculated that because the plan has changed from when I came around and quoted, because originally I thought there was a spike light down there, one centre and one further up there, but obviously plans change and they've dotted all around the garden, various different locations. It's meant that I've had to go and get some more cable, and when I mean some, there's 29 metres more. So it's a little bit different, which is fine. It is what it is. Customer's got to have what he wants, and that's what we're trying to do. So we're going to get these bits sorted, and it's now 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're going to see how far we're going to get done today. But it's definitely not going to get it all done today, because there is more work that needs to be done here other than this. But even if we can get it as far as we can, then it's all a bonus today. Today I've done nothing. Just had the K-Dog, he's been in it, living the dream, doing it all. So we've got the Ensel box mounted up, terminated through, and we've just chucked the spike light down here for now, because obviously we're still digging all that lot in. Also, so Kian's coming up to a bit of a tricky bit where we've got that bamboo. Anyone knows digging around bamboo is not the most fun, so I've just started scraping a little bit out like that, but because I dislocated my thumb a couple of weeks ago, it's still really painful, so I'm having to be really careful what I'm doing digging wise. So I've jumped up to the baby digging down here, so we're just scraping back the decorative stone as such, and the idea is that, so we're going to get it all the way down to there, scraping that back so we know we're now in where the socket is, and that way I can then start digging a little bit more, scraping a little bit more away, and then we can fix that all the way down and get that gone. But trying to keep the decorative stone as much as we can. The reason why I've not done any more, because it's easier for Kian when he's digging that bit if he can still move the cable and get it out of the way, and then we'll pop this slab up, so I've got to clean this bit out the way, and then pop that slab up ready for a bit more digging. But it's getting there. It was raining a minute ago, and it's sort of held out a little bit, and we even, as you've probably just seen, a cheeky bit of drone action. So do love getting the drone out, in fairness, on these projects. So yeah, so getting there. If we can get all the armour done today, into at least down to that end, I'll be well happy if we can. So, and then hopefully we can get it all terminated tomorrow. We are on day 2 for this bad boy. So yesterday we managed to get all of the cable back in, all the way down, all the stone put back down to this point here, and it's a really good job we did, because about 20 minutes later, after we jumped in the van, the worst downpour I think I've ever drove home in happened, and it was torrential rain. It was awful. So I'm really happy that we ended up doing that and getting that sorted to that point. So now I've got to clear this lot up so I can work down there and also drill down and get that armoured back into the building. So yeah, so let's get this all covered and all cleared out. That's what I meant. All cleared out, you know what I meant. So that's all cleared out now, so we've got area to work. So it's important to point out that we're using the lock-off devices. I know that obviously I'm the only one in here, right? But you never know. When I'm going around the other side, feeding cable through, you just never know. Somebody might see, oh, turn that on. Chances of that happening, slim to none. But you don't want to be that none, do you? Right? Just make sure you do that. So what I'm now going to do, I'm now going to drill through the bottom there and hopefully come out within that trench. I might have to scrape back a little bit because it's fell in a little bit, but scrape that in, and then I can get the armoured in. The idea is that I'm going to interrupt that power supply. So this power supply here, I'm going to interrupt this because it's on its own little individual 20 amp, I think, 20 amp radial that's in there. I'm going to fit a fuse spur, and then we're going to fit the wireless kit underneath that, and then obviously the armoured into that, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But you'll see what I'm on about. Okay, cable through, so we just filled all the trench back in. So the plan is that is a deep pattress, which is like a 47mm, I think it is. So we're going to sit that around there somewhere, and then the idea is that is the wireless module. So that's going to sit inside there like that. So armoured's going to come in here, obviously go into the right terminals on this bad boy, and then I'm going to sit the fuse spur probably for the side of it. That's going to come in there to obviously power it. Then it's going to come in there, power that, then come out obviously down to the spike lights, and then we're going to put another stuffing gland out the top, come in this way, which is essentially going to come back up here to pick up the supply back for the outside socket. So that's what the plan is. So we're going to get that mounted on the wall. So I don't need this to be a 47mm deep pattress for the fuse spur, but I just thought I'd keep it both the same, just so it looks right, that's all. We've mounted the boxes up now. Like I say, I put a stuffing gland in there, so we're going to bring the lead through. So I've got the storm gland on, drilled out, ready for the old banjo bolt on there for the earth continuity. So we've got the armoured through and levelled that up to get that up to that point there. What's next on the list now is to mark up the armouring, make sure we can get that all nice and neat up to there, and then get that all terminated in. Okay, so what I've got now is, so I've put the fuse spur on. I've had to do this fairly quick because the customer and stuff needed the power, because as we all know, with the dual RCD board, without taking it all out of there, it causes a bit of a headache. So as soon as the neutral and the earth touches, it trips out, so a bit annoying, but whatever. It's all sorted. So I've just got to put the earth bolt on here. In fairness, Steve's actually gone off to go and pick some up because I've left mine at home, classic. So we're going to go connect that up. But essentially, this is the module. It comes with a double-sided tape. We've stuck that on the back, leads through, flying lead. So the earthing arrangement now will be continued all the way through the gland. So underneath there, you can see that. So that will be continued all the way through. So for testing wise now, I've just got to link those out and then go to the last spike light and test there, because obviously that's my furthest distance away. But yeah, so this is basically the best way I find of doing it. Then I'm going to put a blank plate on the front of it, label it all up. So RF module, obviously 240 volts, you know, the usual. So yeah, nice little install, and I find that the best way. Now, there is different ways you could have done this, yes I know, but obviously I think that is, for me, it'll do for now. It's all on show anyway. Could have put it all in trunking and all the rest of it, but we haven't, because I've got to then extend all of that all the way through. So I went for this arrangement. So while we're waiting for Steve to bring the old new nuts and bolts, I thought I'd do some testing. So we've linked out the live and the earthing. We've shot round to the other side. So let's take you round to the other side. So we've got the Mega all linked up. So the good thing about these Hensel boxes, sorry, is that you've got this PE inlay, so that obviously then you've got every access point will all be the earth continuity. So I've then linked that into the back, onto the line, and then I've got, I don't know whether you can see that very well, but so I've just nulled that, so it was 0.80 anyway, but I've just took the null off that. But yeah, so that's why I like these Hensel boxes, because it does make life a lot easier that way. So insulation resistance next, and then because this is the last leg, so the next one's up there, and then the other one's over there. So we now know that we've got earth continuity all the way through to the very end. Don't have to test all the other ones, because we know that if I didn't have it there, it means I've then got to go back to that one and then over there, to find out where the breakage is, but obviously we don't need to do that because we know it's all good. This is the last part of the leg. So what I've got left to do out in the garden, I've got to bury some more of the armoured over there and yeah, get it all linked up. Okay, so pairing wise, so all you have to do, obviously energise it, press and hold that button there for 3 to 5 seconds and it will start blinking. Press your switch and it will pair up. It's literally as simple as that. So that's all paired up, ready to go. We'll take you around there, we'll get this cover on, we'll get it all labelled up and then we'll take you around and show you the lights. Okay, so all labelled up now, ready to go. So more info, the better for obviously for somebody else coming in at a later date. So let's go around, have a little look at the lights. So naturally, it's decided to start raining. So we've got our wireless switch, and there's our light. And there you have it. So it's a really, really simple system. We've got the other light here that's tucked in to the hedgerow just down there. And then we've got that spike light over there, and I've just got a little bit of armour just left to dig in. The weather is closing in, so starting to get a little bit on the old horrible out there, in fairness. But yeah, all tested out okay, we're all good to go. And hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and if you have and you haven't subscribed, make sure you do, because that would be an absolute winner for me. And yeah, see you on the next one.